Alright, welcome back. I'll start with the usual disclaimer as always. Nothing here is monetized, nothing is for sale. There are no links, affiliates, except for just joining my Discord, but there's nothing you can buy in there. Here's my Discord. You see, just general channel, beginner guide. Nothing really much. My videos, is nothing for sale. Alright, there's no ads on these videos. I don't want your money, I don't need them. I do this to keep myself accountable. That's it. Alright, so we'll start how we usually start. And that's with Bloomberg. And looking at Bloomberg, there are some new tariffs coming up, but tariffs on Brazil is not really something I would care about too much. Bitcoin were high as well. It's not really relevant information. The market is quite dead, and it's July. It's high tourism season, and the markets are quite dead because of that. Already did a little pre-run through, and there is not really anything except this trade that I posted in the Discord, which is quite an interesting trade. I'll go through the TA in case you don't know how I do TA, so you can at least learn from that. It's too late to enter now. Don't enter this if you're already in. Shrimp your sell loss at minimum 0.5%. Anyways, so this went up to resistance on the 1 day and made an indecision candle. If we go back, we can go back as much as we want. We can go back to the 80s. We can go back to the 83, July of 83. Going back to, yeah, and there are no lower points than this. So by that, there's no support. It's quite strange to trade. There's so much stuff breaking out, which is interesting. I'll see how it develops. It will be nice when things start ranging again, though. But it is how it is. It's following the strat. I'm definitely with the trend. This thing is going downhill. So it's a 2-point R on entry. Don't go larger. Don't do what I call dreamer trades. If you want your TP to go further, do it through extension. I could exit with the 1.5%, and I'm at 10% for the month, so I don't care. I'm not gonna extend because I'll be done for the month. Anyways, resistance is up here. Indecision candle formed here and did an entry below the low of the indecision candle. There's quite a tight sell loss on this one. Usually I'd put it below and above the indecision candle close at least. I'd look at factors like these as well, but because of how tight the trade is and how unparticular it is, how new with no potential support. I don't use oscillators either. I just read candles. And what the candles tell me here is a story of indecision, breakthrough, some rebound, indecision, breakthrough, some rebound. And it's the same thing going on again, regardless of this time scale. Boom. And then just long ass time of doing nothing. Dun, dun. And it's been doing this for a while. So it's not the most optimal trade, but you can see that it rejected this bounce. If it doesn't go lower than these levels right here, previous lows, get your sell loss at least to 0, and it hits 0, and you make a little bit of money from the rebate. That's your best case scenario on that one. Because it's July, so many people are on vacation. And when everyone is on vacation, especially the banks, the big market movers, the market dies down. That's why I couldn't find any setups. And It might sound bad, but this is actually quite an important lesson because overtrading is a real thing. It's very, very common to get caught up like, oh, I need to find a setup, I need to find a setup, and then you artificially find a setup. You should be completely fine. And this is trading psychology talk. This is a very important point. You should be completely fine with not finding any setup at all for like a whole month. Because your number one objective, like I've stated earlier in other videos, is to not lose your money, right? Protecting your capital. That's your number one priority. By doing that, you have good bankroll management, max 1% risk, as I've said earlier. You can do 0.9% in case of slippage. And then you have your TA, usually a checklist. If you're a beginner, they can follow point A, point B, point C, point D, point E. And it has to meticulously be in line with all your all your entry requirements. And that should be it. If nothing aligns, nothing aligns. Some practice I've given to people that ask me for advice that are like becoming too obsessive. This is something you can do too, is find a good setup. Like for example this one. A nice setup. Something trending down hard. I don't do trend lines either. Just SR areas, 200 moving average. And that's it. I don't know where my moving average is. Why is it not appearing today? Regardless. Find a good setup and then don't enter it. Also, a strat. I want to say this. A strategy and a trader as a whole is definitely not defined by winning trades. For this month, I've lost more than I've won, if I'm not incorrect. I believe so. I posted all of them in Discord, so I'm not completely sure. But I think I've lost a little bit more. And a trader is more defined by how he loses trades, how he loses money, and how he handles losing so much that you don't go profitable anymore, which is completely normal. Inactivity, having red weeks, even red months when you're trading on the 1 day like I am. I have up to 3 red months at a time. Quite often, almost every year. Every year I definitely have. Definitely have. At the minimum, a whole red month. The month just goes straight to shit. And that's important trading psychology. Because you need a resilient mind for this. And that's all the talk I can give right now. Because there's no setups, nothing. Just some TA explanation. And my trading psychology talk. I'll expand further on the beginner guide I'm writing. I don't want to make anything wrong. And again, there's no affiliates in there, nothing, no links, like, yeah. Or I mean, there are links to brokers, but they're not connected to me in any way whatsoever. You can Google the broker by yourself too if you want that. And that's about it. If you have any questions, you can just drop a comment. You could hop in the Discord and ask some stuff. You can just DM me if you want. However, a lot of people have the same questions because almost everyone DMs me. For some reason, people don't want to show that they don't know stuff, right? Can't let anyone know that you're unaware of certain things. You have to know everything in life. But anyway, people mostly DM me the same type of stuff. So if you just ask it in the Discord or in the comment, other people can get help by that too. Because they might not understand what I'm talking about. Even if I'm answering the question in a video, there's a certain specificity to what you're asking. But again, if you DM me, I'll still answer you. I'll still help you. It's all good. Tomorrow I have some other videos planned. I'm not going to trade tomorrow. Market is too dead, July. I'm probably going to talk to someone else tomorrow that is not a currency and commodities trader, but rather a stock trader, options trader. Because that's something I've been specifically asked about. Like, how does it apply to me? I'm a stock trader. How does it apply? Well, obviously the bankroll management applies, but the person is very new, so he doesn't know that. But I'll also get to talk to this stock trader, options trader, investor. He doesn't have a job, of course, not a wagee, none of that bullshit. He's just like me. He only does this. And we'll see where that takes us. That'll be quite interesting, actually. Again, thank you for watching. That's about it. Bye bye.